Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And thank you for being here. Welcome to it. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter and Instagram and wherever else. See, on YouTube, it's youtube.com/Pat Gray. youtube.com/Pat Gray. So, believe it or not, some Democrats are circling the wagon on this Joe Biden is a good dad stuff. Here's
how dare you ask him about his son's death?
Yeah, and he wasn't.
I know that's what Democrats
about
do,
his
man.
Son's death.
They take something, they manufacture out a whole cloth.
Yeah,
and
they make something it isn't.
They don't turn and look back.
Yeah, and January 6th is such a good example of that because they've just made it an insurrection, which is so asinine. It was a riot. Okay, people got unruly, and even if you want to set aside the fact that they were spurred by federal agents and Antifa douchebags, just set that aside for a second. It was a riot. Let's move on. They broke some things. They didn't kill anybody. Some of them got killed, but they didn't kill anybody. And that lie continues as well. The 5 killed on January 6th.
Right. In fact, there's a couple of individuals, and I haven't had an opportunity to really look into their cases here, but Jake Lang and Ryan Samsel, as related to January 6th. And so what happens is the guards will go in and they'll take your temperature. And that means, all right, you're about to move the next day, which would be today. Mm-hmm. So this big alert came out that said, hey, call the U.S. Marshal's office, tell them, stop this. This would be the 14th move for Jake in his 3 years in incarceration. The reason they do that, they move you around from one federal prison to another, is because therefore it's difficult for your family to come and visit you, your attorneys to come and visit you, and they just make your life a living hell. I mean, that sounds like cruel and unusual punishment to me.
And how long's he in?
Well, he's been in for 3 years waiting for a trial.
Oh, my gosh.
And he's been moved 14 times.
Oh, my gosh.
So I do have the number in case you're interested in calling the U.S. Marshal's office. I don't know if it'll do any good, but, when
it's worth a try. What's the number?
Yeah, it's 202-772-0373. 202-772-0373. U.S. Marshal Supervisor Brown. Just ask, why are you moving these guys? What's going on? Yeah, what's the deal? Explain why. And when's the trial?
Yeah. Jeez, but this is what they do, then they just hammer it, and they're hammering this because it's so indefensible. What happened last week with Joe Biden and the special prosecutor and his conclusions, and then he comes out and bitches about the conclusions and makes it even worse. So what do they have to grab onto? But this narrative that they shouldn't have asked about his dead son. Well, they didn't. He brought it up as he always does. And then he couldn't get the date right. He had no idea when his son died. What year was it? He doesn't know. Oh, but he's a fantastic dad. He's a wonderful dad. How dare you challenge his dadism? How dare you? Here's Representative Max Frost on the GOP supposedly going after Biden.
But Chair Comer, Marjorie Taylor Greene, all these people have taken and weaponized the committee to try to impeach Joe Biden for, I guess, being a father.
Yeah, that's what it is.
This guy's awesome.
That's what it is, Max.
Max Frost.
Being a father. Pathetic.
Yeah.
And the press used to love the 25th Amendment. Remember when Donald Trump was in office? That's all they talked about at the end. Hey, you got to invoke the 25th Amendment. This guy is unfit for office. Suddenly, they've forgotten all about that.
Yeah. What exactly would have to happen to invoke the 25th Amendment in this country?
Obviously, in an ideal world, you would try to invoke the 25th Amendment, which I think is amply justified.
The man is deeply mentally unstable. The cabinet should convene immediately to discuss the 25th Amendment.
If he's crazy and incompetent and stupid, then we have to look at the 25th Amendment.
People in the president's inner circle have brought up the 25th Amendment at least 20 times.
This is 25th Amendment kind of stuff.
The whisper campaign over the 25th Amendment.
We're going to talk about the 25th Amendment.
Let's talk about the 25th Amendment.
Look at the 25th Amendment.
There is the 25th Amendment.
Consider the 25th Amendment.
Maybe we should consider the 25th Amendment.
The 25th Amendment.
How likely is it that the 25th Amendment
25th Amendment. 25th Amendment.
25th Amendment. 25th Amendment.
could be invoked?
The 25th Amendment, 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 25th Amendment. I did my first 25th Amendment segment on this show about, I don't know, 30 days into this presidency. 25th Amendment, 25th Amendment, 25th Amendment, 25th Amendment. The 25th Amendment used the 25th Amendment.
That's fantastic. So they stopped at 25.
Yeah, for him.
In honor of the 25th Amendment, they stopped at 25. I like that. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And never mind Joe Biden's lost memory or corrupt dealings. How about he gets kicked out of office for failing to secure the border? How about that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's essentially treason at this point. He's just allowing people who hate this country to flood across that border.
Yeah, this is a long report here at Fox News. I just thought the entire thing from start to finish was worth playing because this,
okay,
bad stuff, America.
Check out this report from Fox.
Yeah, Jackie, good morning to you. Out here in Jacumba, we're about an hour east of downtown San Diego right now. This is a very remote area that has seen an explosion of illegal crossings from Chinese migrants and Middle Eastern migrants. This is the area the cartel has been pushing them across for some reason. You can see some of them over my shoulder right now, camped out off a major interstate out here, waiting for Border Patrol to pick them up. I'll show you what it looked like out here last night. Take a look at this video. I came out before midnight. There were dozens of these migrants from all around the world who are camping out here with fires. It's chilly out here. Again, waiting for Border Patrol to pick them up. This is right off of Interstate 8 out here in San Diego County, a main thoroughfare. There was not a single Border Patrol agent out here for hours when I was out here. All these people waiting to be picked up, some from China, some from Turkey, some from Central America. They were just waiting. Here's some of what they had to say when I talked to them. Take a listen. Where are you guys from? Turkey. Where are you guys from? ¿De dónde son? Ecuador. Where are you guys from? China. China. What city in the U.S. do you want to go to?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. L.A.? Los Angeles. Okay.
Jeez.
Now, the number of Chinese have been exploding here at the southern border. This is not normal. Take a look at this graphic right here to put it in perspective. CBP sources telling Fox in the last 4.5 months since October 1st, there have been more than 20,000 Chinese nationals encountered here at our southern border. Compare that to all of fiscal year 2021 when there were only 450 Chinese nationals encountered. That is a more than 4,000% increase in Chinese national encounters in just the last few years. And it is not just from China. Colleague Griff Jenkins caught up with a group of Syrian men out here yesterday. Take a listen.
From Syria.
Syria? English?
So.
Why are you coming to the U.S.? Why come?
Because we love America.
Oh,
and,
do you?
We need...
We need what? You need...
a nice style, a nice life.
Okay.
Yeah, coming for jobs?
Yeah, a nice job, a nice...
a nice...
Because,
sure, a job. Yeah, I guess that's what you call
country,
it.
Yeah.
Your country's what?
Very weird.
It's very weird. Yeah, ours too.
Wow.
Dana and Jackie, you'll notice very quickly out here at the California border, it is very different than Texas. There is no razor wire, there's no shipping containers, there's no National Guard, there is no highway patrol. California is a sanctuary state, and as early as this year, it became the first state in the country to start offering taxpayer-funded health care for illegal immigrants.
All right.
Send it back to you.
Wow. Bill Milligan for us in Jacumba. Right. Thank you, Bill.
Jeez. My gosh.
I'm sorry Syria is so weird. But, it's getting there here as well.
I love that one of them said in another report that he was here for the money. I'm here to get the money. Oh.
Yeah, that's what that guy there from Syria.
It's basically saying the same thing.
Because he was asked, are you here for a job? He's like, yeah, sure.
That's it.
That's the ticket. Yeah.
Right.
A job.
Yeah, I love America.
Love working and whatnot.
Yeah, I do. I love it. Love it.
Is it called a job when the government just hands me free crap? Because that's what I want.
No.
That's literally what the guy was thinking. Oh, boy, we're in trouble.
The Chinese immigrants, this might have been in a different report in the same area, because it was from the Chinese immigrants, and they were here to take the money. Take the money. Oh, okay, good. Well, that's great. Thanks for coming. We were hoping you would come and take our money.
Well, they're not taking it. They're just being given it by our government, man. And did you see that you've got former presidents Obama, Bush, and Clinton, this program called Miles for Migrants, where they are, through private businesses, and that's the good angle here, but funding all of these trips for immigrants around the country. They're flying them. So in other words, you go and spend your money at a I try to remember what the companies were, but that's now funding. I guess it's better than tax dollars funding these flights around the country.
I guess.
But the former former presidents are sowing our seeds of destruction.
Incredible.
By making sure that migrants can get around.
Helping us commit national suicide.
Yeah, absolutely they are.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. So a 4,000% increase in Chinese nationals crossing our border from Mexico illegally. Why is that happening?
Mm-hmm.
And how is it not being stopped?
Bro, it's getting better than that even. Up in Maine, do we have the mugshots? This is just in the last few months, all the mugshots of people growing marijuana illegally in rural Maine. Look at those Mainers up there. Look at that. I mean, that is...
Oh, my.
Shouts Maine.
It does, doesn't it?
And so I've got a theory because I saw another story, and I don't have it here, but I saw another story that says, like, there's this thought that they're going to weaponize marijuana. You know how, like, fentanyl poisoning, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's been wide open border. I think countries like China, who, of course, are the ones who have poisoned the fentanyl, I think they're like, hey, wait a minute. If they're not going to do anything about this, let's go after a drug that's used even more in that country, marijuana. That's my theory. That's all I'm saying with this. But these guys and gals, they're these Chinese immigrants in Maine growing marijuana. Look at all those busts just in the last few months.
Yeah, amazing.
What is going on?
Tony Gonzalez, who is a representative, congressional representative from the Texas border, said, as I've spoken to different agencies about why some communities go one place, that's groups of illegals, go one place and others go another, it depends on what cartel controls that pipeline. It's very clear that the Sinaloa cartel is the one controlling that operation and sending Chinese more towards the California corridor, California-Arizona corridor that they control. That's half of the equation. The other half is where the population is. Where are they going to go? Where are the large populations of Asian Americans? Where do they tend to be? In California. New York is another area. But that West Coast area is a big population center for them. So they're coming here by the thousands now. Congratulations.
Yeah, really.
From 20,000 since October. And what was the number in previous years? It was something like 450?
Oh, it was nothing.
It's gone from 450 to 20,000.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know how you sustain this.
There it is. Look at that. Thank you.
450 in fiscal year 2021 to 20,000 plus since October. This last October. Oh, my gosh. And nobody's alarmed by that? Why all of a sudden now? Why? I mean, China's been China forever. You've got
I know.
You've got your issues in China. We all know that. Why all of a sudden now are they flooding across the southern border? Wow.
Yeah.
There's a real problem, and you can't get this administration to care.
You just had a lady named Kelly Wong appointed to the San Francisco Elections Commission.
Oh, yeah, saw that.
Not an American citizen.
Right.
Helping to run
First
our
time
elections.
that's happened. A non-American born citizen appointed to that commission. That's great. Perfect. That's nice. Jeez.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. All right.
Yep. Now, I mean, something obviously nefarious is going on here.
Of course it is.
And nothing is being done about it. Although people are saying now that Biden will probably, maybe even before the State of the Union address, make some sort of, effort to stop the flood of illegals, because then he can proclaim that during the State of the Union. I had to finally just take action on my own because I can't get Congress, I can't get Republicans, the MAGA Republicans, to do anything about it. What do you want to bet? That's exactly what's going to happen.
It depends. I mean,
it'll be some meaningless BS move.
What do you think will get you more points in the polls? Getting something done like that, or blaming Republicans for blocking? Because the State of the Union, I mean, that's a ways out. That's still, gosh, we're about 3 weeks out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really late this year for some reason.
And that talking point didn't stick on, the Republicans are blocking me, so maybe he will go that other route.
Maybe.
And what we have, I mean, you could throw a rock in the air and land on a story of illegals doing something. I mean, today we have the 4 illegals there in Chicago who they attacked that guy in broad daylight in Chicago on the train, and they were, of course, they're being housed in a shelter up there. They just came here for a better life, or what do you say, jobs? A job. Yeah, that's what I came here for.
We're here to take the money.
I mean, this is the third worldification of your nation right before your eyes, and you're paying for it.
Yeah.
So that's fun, too.
And we're paying for it in more ways than one.
Amen.
Last year, because of you, Preborn's network of clinics saw over 58,000 babies saved. So thank you to everybody who made that possible. We need to celebrate these precious lives being saved. It makes such a difference when an expectant mother sees the ultrasound because they've been told and they've been pressured. Look, the only way out of this is you got to get an abortion. Seriously, you can't deal with it right now. Okay, you're alone. It's just a clump of cells, so just take care of it. But Preborn shows them the life growing inside of them with these ultrasounds, and it makes a huge difference. It doubles the chance that the mother will choose life, carry the baby to term, and then either give that baby up for adoption or take care of the baby herself. And that's when Preborn really springs into action and provides all kinds of things for the mother of this baby and the baby, of course. Diapers and formula and support, and it's an amazing organization. Each of these babies are truly miraculous, and every day they celebrate 200 miracles. It's just $28 to help save a life, to show the mother the ultrasound. That's a $28 proposition. $28 a month could be the difference between life and death of a child. When a mother meets her baby on an ultrasound and hears that heartbeat, it creates that divine connection. So if you can donate $28 or $28 a month or whatever you can donate, dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/Pat. That's preborn.com/Pat.
Pat Gray, Unleashed.
All right, here's a few more of the new arrivals.
Oh, good.
The California border.
All
that
right.
we're excited to greet in the United States of America. There they are.
Military-aged men.
Well, and their wives and children that are
one of them
getting a drink of water or something right now. I've seen 2 women so far.
Yeah.
3. Okay.
Oh, look at it. Oh, there's a group.
Oh, okay. There's a few women there.
English?
No. Why would you speak English when you're coming to the United States? Why?
Oh, speaking of military-aged men, you know that...
Oh, look at that. That's great.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
Put their clothes back
All right.
on, bro.
Yeah, nice. Mm-hmm.
Actually, that sucks when you have to sleep in 2 pairs of pants like that.
Yeah, it does.
Ugh. That's a camping thing, trying to stay if you don't have a good sleeping bag.
Right.
Anyway, there you go. Congratulations.
There you go.
Here they are.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to America. Come on in.
But yeah, there's a bipartisan bill in Congress right now that you can earn your way to citizenship if you come to this country illegally, as long as you sign up with the military and serve honorably. And
yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah, it's great. That's worked out really well in the past too. When you start filling the military with illegals,
that's a sign of a nation that is just
we're on the rise. That's a nation in ascent.
Oh, ascent,
not decline, not decline.
Oh,
no.
See, I get my words. Big words, I get them mixed up. I thought it was going to be decline.
No,
you said ascent.
no. Worked out really well in the Roman Empire when they started using illegals to guard their borders and things. Fantastic. People who were brand new to the Roman Empire and didn't necessarily love it quite yet. That worked out really well.
So that's kind of ironic. Illegals guarding the border.
Yeah, isn't it?
I mean, this is just ugly, man.
And of course, here in Texas, Governor Greg Abbott just made an interesting announcement.
Oh, yes.
I want to explain to you what Texas is doing at this time.
Okay.
To expand our border security capabilities. We are building a new Texas Military Department base camp that allows the Texas National Guard to increase and to improve operations in this area. What you see now is the first stage of construction that's already begun on what is 80 acres of an area to be built out for this base camp. From your camera view, it goes all the way down the edge of here to those trees, all the way to the back, close to where the river is. On this side, just back behind you, about 50 feet is where it stops. This will increase the ability for a larger number of Texas Military Department personnel in Eagle Pass to operate more effectively and more efficiently.
Wow.
Did he say it there? 80 acres? 80 acres, 1,800 troops with room for 500 more whenever it's rough down there. That should be the first of many, many Texas bases along the border.
Yeah. At least he's trying to do something. Is trying to work this thing out. And it's difficult because the federal government is fighting him every step of the way.
Every step.
Telling him it's unconstitutional to do this. Well, not when you're not doing the job. When the federal government's not doing it, it is the responsibility and the right of the state to take care of it.
So let's just play this out. What's next on this? Obviously, Texas has commandeered the park there at Eagle Pass. They're now building a base. At what point, if you're the Biden administration, do you respond with force to Texas? And be like, we've said stop doing this, or we're going to march in there and we're going to take this over. This is our job, not yours. And then Texas responds by saying, hey, we're leaving the Union. And then there's a big war, and Biden's a wartime president in Civil War II. Anyway, I just explained exactly what happened there with Fort Sumter in South Carolina, and that cat went on to be the most favored president there in our list yesterday. And this is he's only 14th most popular there, Joe Biden. So he doesn't have that capital yet.
Different issues, however.
I know.
With the
I
Civil
got
War
it.
than now.
I got it. And that I was just that was a flip and aside. However, the principle remains that the federal government their hand is going to be forced in this. At what point do they respond to Texas? Because Texas is just saying we're going to do this on our own.
Well, they're not going to do it before November. So that shows how important November 5th is. November 5th is critical. And we say this every election, admittedly, but
it's true.
But it's true every election. And it's magnified by about 1 million times this particular election. It's that critical that Joe Biden not be reelected. He can't be. It must be. Well, Donald Trump is going to be your
you're not
Republican
saying,
candidate.
Okay. So you're saying Nikki Haley. You're writing her off because she's a woman. That's what I heard.
I'm writing her off because she is the John McCain or Mitt Romney of this particular cycle.
No kidding.
And we don't need it. We don't need her.
South Carolina primary is Saturday. She trails in her home state to Trump by 33 points.
33 is all? Oh, that's not bad.
That's the latest.
She can make that up in 4 days.
She's narrowing that gap quickly.
Yeah. Because it was 35 last time I saw.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone down 2 points already.
Well, maybe that was just the margin of error.
Yeah, it might be.
They kind of closed that gap.
Yeah, she doesn't have a chance.
So do we think that with let me do a temperature check of Pat Gray. I haven't done this in a while. With all of the legal issues going on around Trump and with all the fill in the blank going on around Biden, you think those are the two that are going to be on the ballot in November?
I still do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You thinking differently? Which one? Both? Neither?
I definitely don't think it's Joe.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's going to be replaced by whom?
That's what I said.
Kamala?
It depends.
Yeah.
If it's by the end of this month, it's Michelle Obama. Yeah, Kamala, no.
Yeah.
Kamala's
they don't want her. They
Kamala's in on it.
Don't want
Look, we'll give you all the perks.
Uh-huh.
You can be president. You can play president for like 8 or 9 months. Do everything we say. Then you're out. Do you agree to these terms?
It'll be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I can't believe that we are at this point.
I know.
Where this guy is your standard bearer.
Yeah.
And he can't even walk 4 steps.
No, that's right. And when he does, I mean, every time you see him walk any sort of distance, like when he's walking out to the plane or he's walking out to the helicopter or he's even walking to a podium, he looks so unstable.
I know, bro.
So fragile, so old and rickety.
Rickety. Well, you got to start mixing that word in more often. That's the word.
Man, is he rickety.
Rickety. Rickety Joe. Donald Trump, you can have that. Okay?
Yeah.
Mix that
Rickety
in.
Joe.
Rickety Joe.
Because he could come apart at the seams at any moment.
Oh no! What do you think they call that position? You know, like when you got the Secret Service guys, and they're like, "All right, the Eagle is approaching the blah blah blah." Anyway, what's that new post? Because we didn't play the video yesterday, but now the Secret Service agent has to stand at the bottom of the stairs, presumably to catch the old man when Rickety Joe falls down the stairs.
Yes.
But I wonder what that position is called. Like,
and isn't it too late by the time he gets to the bottom of the stairs? Because the guy stops at the bottom of the stairs. He doesn't help him up the stairs. That would be a little too obvious. So he waits for him to fall. Like,
I don't know
what good
what
is that going to do?
I don't know.
It's bizarre.
They do everything they can to block that view. They either first they went from long to short stairs.
Right.
Then they pull the car in front to try to lessen the angle there. Now you've got a guy standing at the base. I mean, you can only hide so much.
Yeah.
The guy is just. Yeah.
It's interesting too because I think Jill was pissed about the short stair thing. She doesn't want to be seen as, hey, we can't handle the big stairs. And maybe she doesn't like being entering the plane in the belly of the plane, where they've got to go upstairs inside the plane. Maybe it's not beautiful enough for her.
I don't know.
You're seeing too much of the innards and she doesn't want to. But even she has had to concede that, yep, we're going to go in and out at the short stairs. And she hates it.
How would you have liked to been the one that told her, Madam First Lady, we have to take
the short stairs?
Yeah.
Oh, I would not want to be that person.
Why?
Yeah. She's the driving force, I think, behind all of this. She's the hideous beast that continues to abuse him and push him along because she loves her position. She loves the power. She loves the attention. And she's disgusted every time he does something that threatens that, as we saw the other day. It was from a while ago, but when she had to help him on with his coat and it took like a minute to get his coat on. Literally, what was it, 50 seconds or something?
Oh, it was almost a minute, yeah.
And she was so pissed. Wouldn't even look at him afterwards.
That may be the greatest clip because there are
It's great. Yeah, it's
there
great.
needs to be. See, that's the thing. The NCAA tournament has how many teams? 68 now? Is that right?
Yeah.
Something like that? Mm-hmm. You would have to get rid of some clips of Joe Biden being a national embarrassment.
Yeah, you would.
To make a bracket, a field of 68, if you were to do that. But I think that would be your champion.
That would be fun for March, is to do a playoff of Biden clips. Maybe we'll do that for overtime. That'd be great. All right, 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Got some tweets here. Sons of Thunder 43 tweets. There's a hole at the border Biden won't fix. Somebody's making money.
Yeah, they're NGOs.
Johnny Ringo, could the reporter who asked who is paying for them to get to the U.S.? I wish they would ask that. Who is paying for you guys to get here? Because you're all so poor, right? In fact, they've done reports on the fact that a lot of these people are middle class, upper middle class in the countries they're coming from, and still pouring across our border illegally.
But I mean, again, the answer is NGOs. So, and they are getting money from your paycheck. So you set that alarm this morning to fund illegal immigration.
Congratulations. Megatrends in Normality tweets, what's happening in Maine? Lest we forget that Governor Janet Mills' name appeared on a list of American leaders friendly to the Chinese government.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if have we talked about that?
I have never heard that. I have never heard that.
That's interesting.
I will say, be sure you know where your marijuana is coming from, because this feels foreboding. Chinese nationals growing marijuana illegally.
Joe's gibberish translator. It's simple. China is sending their people here to hamstring America through her people. They're sticking to their 100-year plan of being number one, but this will speed it up. Man, they are patient. And they've got long-range plans, unlike us. Charlie Brown tweets, the Chinese are here to sabotage the power grid. Well, and let's not forget espionage, both militarily and corporation espionage. They're doing all of that. They get all their technology from us.
That sounds like xenophobia.
Doesn't it?
That's what I'm hearing.
Eckert and Tom tweets, the only thing that does not flow into this country freely is common sense. Aloha, the spirit of small talk. Illegals in the military, DEI quota is complete. Gosh, yeah. And Paco D, thanks, Pat. Now I'm thinking of the fall of the Roman Empire. And you're welcome.
Yeah. I haven't seen one of those videos in a while. Yeah, let's see.
So we have our immigration issues here in the U.S., but here's how illegals arrive in Europe.
Okay.
By boat.
Look at this. Oh, my word. That looks like a good time right there.
Oh, doesn't it?
So I think they just saw land. Seriously, I think that's what just happened. They're like, hey, look, there's Europe. Yeah, here we come for, what do you call them? A job. Yeah, we're coming for a job.
We're here to take the money.
Yeah. Not handouts.
So it's not just here, but I mean, it's worse here than it is there.
This is Agenda 2030. I mean,
but it's great.
This is the United Nations plan for the West.
It's the West is being overrun.
Third worldification, baby.
And I'm sorry, it's not xenophobic to worry about that. My gosh. You've got to know who these people are. What are they bringing to us? I mean, I know the things we're going to provide for them. What are they providing to us? It's not just an okay question to ask. It's a critical question to ask.
Yeah, it is.
You have to know what they're bringing to the table. Who are they?
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Are they felons? Are they criminals? Are they child molesters? Are they really good people who work really hard and they definitely are just looking for a better life? Not a single child was on those boats. So, are these all great guys just coming here looking for a better life because they're single men? Or maybe they just want to send money back to their home country and to their family back home. I don't know. That doesn't contribute much to us either. But, man, it is... Since I've known about this, money sent from the United States back to Mexico is either their number one revenue in that country every year or number two after tourism. Every single year, it is their first or second largest revenue producer. So that's an issue. That's an issue.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I'm sure it's happening in Europe as well.
I'm trying to find this. This story, I thought it was more recent than that. But Mike Rogers, representative from Alabama in 2017, he introduced the Border Wall Funding Act. Okay.
All right. Where they were going to tax people who send money back?
2% tax.
Yeah.
And then that would then go to build the wall.
That's how you could make Mexico pay for it. That you could have done it that way. Yeah, but they didn't.
A nation that cares about itself and respects itself.
Would do that.
Yes.
Yes. Here's what happened to a bus in France.
Oh. All right. Yeah, look at that. See, they get here off the boat, and then they need luggage, obviously, and whatnot.
Oh, okay. So they just steal people's luggage off of buses? Wow. Oh, my gosh.
I think...
But that's fine. Don't worry about it. You're a xenophobe. You're a racist if you don't like that activity. Here's a big draw that just took place in a big brawl for some reason taking place in Britain.
Okay. What country did you say this was again?
Great Britain.
But this footage looks like it's from like Southeast Asia or something. Are you sure? Is this right? Are we playing the right clip?
We're playing the right clip.
Okay, and you say this is Great Britain.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
Huh. Okay.
They're jumping up and down on cars.
All right.
Fighting with residents. And
I mean, who among us hasn't
causing
done
trouble?
That? How many cars have you jumped up and down on as a...
It'd be easier to count the number of cars I haven't jumped up and down on.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
I do this every day to
My
somebody.
truck's in the parking lot every day.
Yeah.
And then you've got this like...
You're welcome for the custom look on your hood.
You've got like jump Tourette's or something,
Yeah,
and you just
a
can't
little bit.
help yourself?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
I mean, what is this? Is this like...
is crazy.
Okay,
all
right.
Jeez, and they're just beating people with boards?
All right, let's... All right, we've seen enough of this, have we not? Okay.
All righty. No, that was great.
That is good stuff, though.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
You like to see it. Fun times.
You
in
really
Great
do.
Britain.
What else are you going to do in Britain? You know? There's nothing else to do.
Not going to a soccer match.
No. I hate soccer.
Although,
and apparently they do too.
I think there's some crossover there in the crowds.
Yeah, that's for sure. The Irish have had enough of watching their nation get transformed.
Oh, boy.
I feel very threatened. I'm afraid to go out on my own. My sons won't let me go out on my own.
I bet.
Ireland's anti-immigration backlash has spiraled into countrywide unrest in recent months, after a sharp rise in the number of foreigners arriving onto its shores.
So
unfortunately, I think Ireland is becoming the new Sweden.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
The new Sweden.
We know how that worked out.
Worked out really well for Sweden.
What was the increase percentage in rapes and sexual assaults there?
Huge. And it just became a gangland area. And it's really sad. Really sad what's happened there. In a peaceful, really cool nation.
Yeah.
Really.
Yep. That's what happens when you open your borders.
And now the Irish are experiencing the same thing, and they're getting a little fed up.
I did see a cool video. We didn't send this in, but over the weekend, there was a Palestinian flag hanging off the side of a bridge in some old Irish town. Mm-hmm. And this Irish chick is like recording, and she's like, "You're not going to hang that off my bridge," And she just, they cut it down and threw it in the trash can.
Oh, wow.
That was awesome.
Committed a hate crime there?
Of course. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
If they'd been caught, that's what they would have been.
Yeah. So she's
accused.
She's actually in prison right now.
Okay. Good.
Good. Yeah. She's getting 3 squares a day.
Good.
But now you know the rest of the story.
Did you see Bono's thing at the Sphere?
I forgot to send that in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Speaking of the Irish.
Yes.
He's talking about why they can't get along. The sons of Abraham are struggling, and they've been struggling forever. He made an interesting point, though. He said, we had this kind of unrest for a long time in Ireland, and we've overcome it. I mean, it's fragile, but there is a peace between the warring factions in Ireland.
No,
the Catholics and the Protestants are not battling like they once were.
Yeah, Nick Ryan sent this to me, Pat Head. But the great part about that video, I thought you were going to make the point where he's talking about the Palestinian children.
Yeah.
That are suffering.
Yeah, but he did mention the Israeli children
who
suffered on October 7th.
We really need this video, and I'll send it in during the break here.
All right.
But as he's talking, and he's talking about the Palestinian children suffering, these people start cheering, like, yeah, see, Bono's on our side. And he tells the crowd,
to shut up.
Shut up.
Right.
And then he goes back and says it again, the Palestinian children after the Israeli children. Yeah.
He seemed to be taking kind of a...
Right, but
there just should be peace position. It wasn't pro-Palestinian. It wasn't pro-Israeli.
But he wasn't going to let the pro-Hamas crowd...
Right, that was good.
...commandeer his moment there.
Yeah, we should play that because...
Maybe it's just Bono.
That's interesting.
Bono. But yeah, I thought it was very good.
He did tell him to shut up.
Said shut up.
Yeah. All right, this past December, we had drug shortages at a record high in the United States of America. And so that's causing severe disruptions in medical treatment. There's delays, there's treatment cancellations, and there's rationing of vital medications. Did you ever think you'd see that here? Even drugs as important as the antibiotic amoxicillin are in short supply right now. About 294 others are too. So doctors are even saying they're forced to make impossible choices, like who gets to have this and who you're going to have to do without. I mean, that's terrible. That's why you need the Jace case. This is a series of 5 antibiotics that you'll just have on hand. You can buy them, and you can get things like ivermectin in this case, and then you're prepared for shortages. Or you're prepared for just inconvenience. Like maybe you're out of town, you get sick. It happens to me all the time when I'm on vacation. And you know what it is? It's bronchitis or it's a sinus infection or whatever. And you've got antibiotics right on you. You don't need to be near your pharmacy or talk to your doctor or just start taking your antibiotic. It's awesome. You can buy a gift card for your family or loved ones, and they can get a Jace case of their own and personalize it for their own needs. It's awesome. Everybody should be empowered to care for themselves and their loved ones during the unexpected or just the inconvenient. Go to jacemedical.com today. Enter the promo code PAT at checkout. You'll get a discount on your order. That's promo code PAT at jacemedical.com.
Pat Gray.
All right. We have one more from Europe. Over the weekend, here's what happened at The Hague in the Netherlands. This is more fun. Oh, there you go. That's a mostly peaceful demonstration, it looks like. Not the entire city on fire.
How do you pronounce that? The Eritreans? I don't know how to pronounce it. But there's something going on back home that they're not happy with, like an election or something. And so what better way to show your anger than
Eritreans?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can never get that right.
Yeah.
So why not set fire to the Netherlands?
It makes perfect sense.
They have everything to do with whatever the hell's going on back on.
It really makes perfect sense.
Third world hellhole you came from.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Did the Netherlands stop what was going on in Eritrea? No, they didn't. They didn't stop it. Whatever it was happened, and so now they're pissed. And who can blame them?
You know why they didn't stop it, Pat?
I don't.
Because they're in NATO.
Oh, right.
And
so, NATO.
And so they don't take care of themselves. They depend on NATO to take care of them. But no, I mean, this is just great. I love... See, what's so cool is that we're importing the best parts of the world into the West.
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah, because it's the best among them who want to come here, give up everything they have in that country, and then and come here.
I'm not geographically challenged, but is it fair to refer to... I heard your sniff. As Japan as part of the West? Yes, they're far east. I got it. But they're a more modern...
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got... They were pressured into allowing Muslims into their country en masse, and now they're experiencing the same thing in their cities of harassment of females there. And I mean, it's just... I mean, this is such a designed plan to destroy the West.
Yes.
That's all. I mean,
it is. And they'll tell you about it, too.
It's bad enough, Pat, that this plan is something that was designed and that has been implemented. But then you step back and you go, And we are paying for our own destruction.
Mm-hmm.
That is what is
I know.
so tragic in all of this.
And I love the fact that they will stand there when you ask them, and they will tell you what their plan is. They will tell you directly that we are trying to destroy. We had that, was it last week or the week before? We played that Muslim in, I don't know where he was, Britain maybe? Maybe it was England. And he stood there and said, we're turning your churches into mosques.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
This is our design. Yep. We are going to make this an Islamic nation. This is part of the caliphate. And they'll just tell you, because they know we're not going to do anything about it, because if you try to do anything about it, you're an Islamophobe.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody wants to be called an Islamophobe or any other kind of phobe. So we just let it go.
Think of that. These churches were in those desperate positions where they were empty. I mean,
right.
First, this is just a century of hollowing out Christianity in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And what's left are these empty buildings. So, of course, when you allow the invaders to come in, they're going to buy up these properties because there's no one using them anyhow. Boy.
Yeah.
There's no words, man. I mean, this is just, we're just watching day in and day out the destruction of the Western way of life and culture.
Yeah.
But your culture, I'm sorry, if you're white or European, that
you don't have a culture, so
yeah, please.
It's fine to erase your culture because it's non-existent. So don't worry about it. Jeez.
I tell you.
Also, we got this crazy story. At least 12 people, a dozen people were killed in a shootout with security forces in northern Mexico, right near the border of the U.S., right near the Texas border. Tamaulipas State Security Agency said in a statement published on X that soldiers were on patrol in the municipality of Miguel Alaman, that's right at the border with Texas, when they were attacked by armed civilians, Reid drug cartels. The agency did not respond to how many soldiers were killed or injured in the shootout, but 12 people altogether. So I don't know how many were drug cartel members and how many were soldiers, but it's happening right on the border. They don't care anymore about whether or not the United States gets sucked into this. Apparently, they used to care about that. They didn't want that to happen. Now they're so brazen, it just doesn't matter to them. All right, 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here
I
on
am.
the Blaze Radio Network.
And thank you for being here with us. We got a lot still to share with you. We got to tell you, we continue to be proven right every single day on the vaccine situation. It's unreal.
Oh, man.
The admissions being made now. All of a sudden, everything we've said is being verified by VAERS, the CDC, which are basically the same thing. But scientists at Pfizer, I mean, they're finally admitting it. And we'll get into that.
Yeah, there's so much. You're right.
Also, the Biden camp wants to use the State of the Union to reset their campaign and make everything okay and get back on track because he's getting his ass kicked by Donald Trump. And they know it. Fortunately, they know it. And that's one of the reasons they're so pissed at all of their allies in the press, like the New York Times. How dare you run stories about his age and how his mental health is failing? How dare you admit the obvious? They're really upset about it. And the head of the New York Times has said, "Look, we're doing both stories. We're doing Trump. We're talking about that, and we're talking about Joe Biden. And if they don't like it, that's tough." Which is amazing, because at least they're running stories on it. You know, and you got people like Jon Stewart who's mocking him, and man, the left is upset with Jon Stewart. They don't want him back as much as they did before. They'd like him to go away really quickly.
You know what? Because he does Monday nights. He hosts Monday nights.
Yeah.
I have no idea if he did anything else, because the White House called.
Oh, they called. Yes,
I'm
they
gonna
called.
just peruse the
It's
interwebs.
amazing how involved they are with that stuff. Anybody who says anything that is a supposed ally of the Biden White House, they get called on the carpet for that kind of stuff. And he did last week. So, yeah, I don't know how last night turned out. That'd be interesting to see if he mocked him at all.
Yeah,
we haven't seen anything.
Well, okay, so I'm just doing a very cursory look here, and the first thing I saw is a 5.5-minute clip, and it says, Jon Stewart is still a leftist.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh, he's making up for it?
I don't know.
I'll bet he is. I'll bet he made up for last week.
Let's see. Yeah.
Jeez.
Anyway, but remember, though, just I think the most important thing last week was so under the radar. When KJP, she was asked a question about criticisms of Joe Biden's memory or something like that, and then she goes, "Oh, I think you're talking about the Jon Stewart thing." What? Whoa!
Yeah, where'd that come from?
Relax.
Yeah.
Why is he top of mind for you?
Huh? Yeah, that's interesting.
Why him specifically?
That does show who's top of mind, doesn't it?
Because they were so disappointed in him.
Yep. Oh yeah. They were looking for some Trump support there. They want you to bash him and leave Biden alone. Got some tweets here. Lone Wolf tweets, if the poo ever really hits the fan, you can't expect American military to fire on American civilians. So you have to fill the military with foreign nationals who have no allegiance to the country to do it.
I don't like that tweet. I don't like that tweet.
No, it's
take that tweet down.
Too real, isn't it? It's just it has too real a feel there.
I don't like that.
We don't like that.
Tweet.
Nancy's vodka-soaked dentures. How soon until the Muslim recruits start throwing the transgender recruits from the roof? That's a good question. That's a good question. You know, homosexuals in the military, transgender, that's not going to mix well. Just an old guy with a mic. My new name for Sleepy Joe is now Rickety Joe, and you're welcome. Ultra MAGA 2024. You ask, what are they bringing us?
Okay.
Disease, crime, terrorism. And thank you for all of that.
Yeah, we didn't have enough of that on our own.
No, we
had
don't.
to import that.
Right. Rowdy introvert. Sure, there's some level of civil unrest in the UK, but at least the immigrants aren't praying across the street from abortion clinics.
Okay.
That would not be tolerated.
Okay, yeah, all right, fair.
We mentioned Bono the other night at the Sphere.
Yeah.
And his rant. I think we have that now, right?
Yeah, so this is the whole thing. I think there might be a song as part of this, so you just have to kill this where you want to.
Okay.
But you brought it up, and here's what it sounded like.
Okay. Speaking about Israel and Palestine here.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Sorry, we didn't have a chance to really edit this here.
This is a song we haven't played very many times, so...
He's getting ready to sing a different song here. And
we're a Saturday night, Sunday morning kind of band. I think it's okay to confess in this evening's Sunday service that how religion can so enrage us sometimes. To see what the children of Abraham have been doing to each other.
Talk about the children of Abraham.
As well as this very day is bewildering. Christians, Muslims, Jews. It's bewildering. To see the suffering of the Palestinian children after witnessing the same Israeli children. Shut up!
Nice.
To see the suffering of the Palestinian children after we saw the suffering of the Israeli children.
Oh, right.
Yes.
There you go. Thank you.
Too much.
There you go. Okay. Yeah.
Shut up. Love
yeah.
Looks
wow.
Yeah. So
all right, we got it. That's impressive, though. I mean, yeah, he's talking peace. He's not necessarily taking a side.
Right.
His side is peace, and I appreciate that. That's good. And for all the Palestinian supporters who were screaming, just a flat out shut up.
Yeah.
That's solid. That's impressive.
Yes, sir.
Good for him.
So now there's probably a fatwa for him. Something like that.
Probably.
I mean, seriously, what did I do? I'm sorry that I just...
Between that and the fact that he seems to love America and capitalism.
Yeah. Two strikes.
You know
Three. This is the third strike.
Third strike. Yeah, he's done now. Wow. All right.
Yeah, good to see that.
Speaking of there not being peaceful things going on, Lindsey Graham is urging designating Russia as a state sponsor of terrorism. Okay, so that's,
thank you, Lindsey.
That's good.
For chiming in. The man he doesn't sleep. I'm convinced that Lindsey Graham doesn't sleep if America is at rest, if we're at peace.
No, that's right. He's such a war hawk. Jeez.
He loves it. Yeah.
If designated, Russia would join a list of nations that currently includes Iran, Cuba, North Korea, and Syria. Wow, that's it? Okay.
Isn't that something? Yeah, I thought that's a short list.
Yeah, that is a short list. That's not complete, I'll tell you that. Meanwhile, after months of requests from Ukrainian officials, the Biden administration is working toward providing Ukraine with powerful, new, long-range ballistic missiles. So that I guess they can fire them at Moscow instead of these dumb drones that get shot down every time they attempt them. Late last year, the U.S. began to supply Ukraine with Army tactical missile systems known as ATACMs. But so far, it's provided only the older medium-range ATCMs. Now the U.S. is leaning toward sending the longer-range version of the missile.
Don't do it.
Should allow Ukraine to strike further inside.
Why?
The Russian-held Crimean Peninsula. Yeah, why would you do
I thought you were just trying to reestablish your border with Russia. Why do we need to...
Well, because we want to get more deeply enmeshed in this mess than we are currently.
Because people like Lindsey Graham have made it very clear that the end game is not to just reestablish the border between Ukraine and Russia, but to destroy Russia's military once and for all.
And we're going to do that through Ukraine? Yeah, I don't think so.
That's what they think. Somebody sent me this picture. So Lloyd Austin is working from home. And I guess he was doing like a Zoom call or whatever.
Oh, yeah, because he's still dealing with his prostatectomy or whatever it was.
Yeah, but it's hard to see on that. But first of all, why is there... He's got the American flag and the Ukrainian flag, and I think he's wearing a Ukrainian
okay, that's just
lapel
weird. You've got the Ukrainian flag in your office at work, or is it that's at home, you said?
At home,
right?
At home, yeah. But still, I mean, you're signaling to the world that you're not only... the Secretary of Defense for America, but apparently for another nation as well.
My God.
I mean, equal billing up there for the flag.
Does that not show divided loyalties?
I don't like this at all.
I don't either.
I don't
either.
Now, here's a meme. Now, before we put the meme up, have you been doing your taxes? Everybody working on their taxes? It's a fun time of year. I love it.
Isn't it?
I love it. Well, you may not be aware there's a deduction. You can you can claim a dependent that you may didn't think about earlier, and his name is Vladimir Zelensky. If you're listening, there's a gentleman doing his TurboTax stuff, and he's got a little baby Zelensky in his lap. Got an extra dependent there.
That is great.
And then look, you got bundles of joy on the way, Israel and Taiwan.
Great.
So
that's so great.
Gotta get those born too, so you can...
Funny. Because otherwise you just sit and weep, right? So we might as well laugh about it.
Right. And you want some sort of return on your investment.
Yeah, you do.
So
at least claim him as a dependent. I'm sure that's fine with the IRS.
Good stuff.
Speaking of taxes, you know our revenue is up 33% since the Trump tax cuts. Revenue is up 33%. They always try to make it out as if tax cuts cost them money. No, they bring in more revenue. 33% more revenue since 2017. The only problem is spending increased more than 50% over that same time frame. So that's why they can continue to whine about it, even though revenue is up. Jeez, that's just incredible. Measured as a share of the economy, tax revenue averaged 17% of gross domestic product in the year since the tax cut was passed. The same share as in 2017 and would have been higher if not for the pandemic and associated economic shutdowns. Well, of course. So the national debt is approaching I think it's at $35 trillion now, and it's projected to jump up to $48.3 trillion by the end of 2034. So that's just
at what point do you just stop counting?
Yeah.
You know what? We're not even...
You don't hear much about it now. So I think they've already done that. They've already chosen to just, let's not talk about it anymore. You'll let Thomas Massey and others wear that little lapel pin that counts the national debt on their chest, but we're not going to mention it. The interest has been exploding over the past few years. Payments rising from $223 billion. This is just on the interest.
Oh, my.
$223 billion in 2015, $352 billion in 2021, and then it doubled to $659 billion in 2023. The CBO projects net interest will total $870 billion by this year, by the end of this year. $870 billion. There is one thing we spend more money on than the interest on our debt, and that's the national defense. That's it. National defense, interest on our debt. God, that's just unbelievable. But nobody cares. So
no,
I don't even know why I brought it up.
Yeah, what did you...
Sorry, I apologize.
What are you doing there, dude?
I don't know. It's just wasting time, essentially.
We are.
And you are. Whenever you talk about it, you're just wasting your breath because nobody cares.
Left or
Not
right.
Not even Republicans.
Yep.
I mean, there's the four that we talk about.
Yeah.
Who do care.
Yep. Thomas Massey,
Mike
Rand
Lee,
Paul,
Rand Paul,
Chip Roy.
Yep. Chip Roy. Good people. All right. This afternoon, don't miss Sarah Gonzalez's new show, Sarah Gonzalez Unfiltered. That's right. She stole the un.
Stole the
from
un.
us. She stole.
What is that all about?
The un. Sarah is very opinionated and definitely unfiltered on this new show, and you're going to love it. She's hosting the Sarah Gonzalez Unfiltered show now. Everybody's favorite spicy Latina. Is that okay to say?
I think so.
5 nights a week with a no-holds-barred take on news, politics, and culture, and sometimes a fabulous guest named Pat Gray Unleashed.
Oh!
Yeah.
So you're over there now, too.
Yeah. Yep. Show looks great. It's vintage Sarah. You never know where she's going to take this story or what she's going to say or when she's going to swear, because that's always fun. Sarah Gonzalez Unfiltered on The Blaze.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube.com/Pat Gray. Elon Musk wants to move 1 million humans to Mars.
When?
Well, we're going to land the first people on Mars
tomorrow.
In 2029.
No.
He thinks.
No.
He's estimating.
Move that up.
Well, it was supposed to happen this year. Then they pushed it back to 2026, and now he just suggested 2029. Jeez.
Not soon enough. It'll be too little too late, Elon.
Dang. So he was replying to a post claiming SpaceX's Starship will take us to Mars. Musk said, "We're mapping out a game plan to get 1 million people to Mars. Civilization only passes the single planet great filter when Mars can survive, even if Earth supply ships stop coming." I can pretty much guarantee you that's not going to happen, ever. It would be very cool to have 1 million people on Mars, to have anybody on Mars, but it's not going to happen. We're never going to get 1 million people on Mars. That will not happen. So you might as well just give that up.
Wow, that's kind of a wet blanket, bro.
Sorry.
I mean,
we're
we
not
just
gonna live on Mars. It's not going to happen.
Okay, I got it. More than half the show, we talked about how the planet is caving in on itself.
Right.
We need a little bit of hope.
Sorry, we live or die on this planet. I'm pretty convinced of
let's
that.
try this again.
I think we'll be lucky to get 3 people ever on the surface of Mars. Maybe, I guess the first crew would probably be more like 7 people. So if we can get 7 people ever on the surface of Mars, that'll be quite an accomplishment.
Let's do the math here, right?
All right. Yeah.
So how many years ago did we land on the moon? 55 something?
Yes.
Okay.
50, exactly 55 years ago.
Okay, cool. Wow, what do I win, huh? All right, 55 years ago, we got 3 guys on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
And then subsequent missions.
I think we wound up with 12.
12. So we got 12.
12.
And no one's there today.
Nobody's there today. Nobody, not one person.
If we extrapolate this out, how many years till we get 1 million on Mars? 4 trillion years?
About that.
Okay, so we'll get there.
We'll get there eventually.
It's just eventual.
Well, I'll be gone. The Earth will be gone. The sun will have supernovaed. But, we'll be on Mars then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen. It's a cute little dream that Elon has.
Right, I got it. I got it, Mr. Naysayer.
But maybe he should work on extending the range of the Tesla.
Okay, now that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Why don't
maybe concentrate on that?
Put Mars on a shelf while you work on this EV stuff.
He really believes, though, that we don't survive on this planet. That's how committed he is to the global warming thing. Jeez.
Oh, did you see global warming in action in China yesterday?
Oh, man. Yes.
Now, this does not count as an animal video. This is sad. It's shocking. I don't let your kids will have nightmares if they see this video. So
temperatures apparently in Xinjiang, China dropped quickly, like 45 degrees almost instantly.
Yeah.
It went down to a low of 61.6 below zero.
So it was already, 15 below or something.
And went down to 61 below zero? My gosh.
That's not good.
And it killed a lot of waterfowl.
Look at that. Oh, God.
Whoa.
They're just frozen in place in the lake, man.
So they were fine when it was 15 below?
Sure, I guess. I don't have a lot of details.
That is really weird. Wow.
Let me see here. Let me try to find more information here.
Wow, that's a lot of birds killed.
That's just terrible.
Yeah, sad.
So there you go.
And again, there's your global warming. Damn it. It gets so hot.
Sure.
It flips around to the other side and cold.
Right.
And it does it fast.
See, the thing is, if it wasn't for global warming, it would have been minus 200 degrees.
Right.
I'm just reading here. A significant number of waterfowl were caught off guard by the rapid onset.
Caught off guard? Yeah. Are the waterfowl normally on their guard? I like that. They were caught off guard. I bet they were. Aren't they always caught off guard?
ChatGPT, draw me a picture of a duck carrying a rifle. Let's see here. It actually ended up at minus 63.4 degrees Fahrenheit. So that was a heat wave compared to what you read.
Wow.
Or that is more than this. Let's see here. Situation. Yeah, I don't know. So I guess that's suboptimal when it's really cold already, and then you get a flash freeze after that. That's not good for living creatures.
Wow. What part of China gets that cold? That's interesting. 63 below zero? And that's Fahrenheit, right? That's not even Celsius.
Correct. I'm trying to find out what part that is here. So is this Michigan right here?
Right.
So it's like right about... it's not showing me.
No.
Not showing me. Come on, Google Maps. What's wrong with you?
Maybe we'll have to wait for the hand map from Jeffy
tomorrow.
Tomorrow he'll show us.
It's in the northern, far northwest corner of China.
Has to be.
So how do you get global warming under control? You stop flying everywhere? Is that what'll stop?
Well, that's one of the things you have to do, yes.
Okay.
You stop all jet travel.
Okay.
You stop every car. You stop all factories. Okay. And then maybe we have a shot. But it might even be too late for that. That's the thing. It might even be too late.
At least celebrities are showing us the way, right?
Yeah. Well, Bill Maher talked about that. Celebrities showing us the way.
Right. Before you play this, though, the map that is playing at the same time that he's speaking are all of the private jets leaving Las Vegas after the Super Bowl last week.
Oh, good.
This is fun.
Now enjoy this fun photo collage of some of your favorite stars and politicians who speak about the need to reduce our carbon footprint, but who are always on private planes. That's right, all of them. If you don't see a celebrity's picture here, it's because we weren't allowed to use it. Or their series got canceled. But all the environmentalists of Hollywood and Washington do it. Their position on climate change is, we must do more to stop pouring carbon into the air, except for me when I want to go somewhere and then I take a private jet.
Yep. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Bill Maher. Thank you for pointing that out. He's been great on that lately.
I mean, and that applies to everything with celebrities and global elites, whether it's private jets or whether it's COVID protocols or you fill in the blank, man. It's none
of it applies to them. Yeah. None of it applies to them. I mean, a really good example, speaking of COVID, was during the pandemic when Gavin Newsom went to that really swanky restaurant in San Francisco after telling everybody not to go out.
The French Laundry, yep.
Yeah, French Laundry. Yeah.
I mean, they do this on taxes, right? Like, how many people in Congress right now are in arrears on their taxes?
Oh, probably all of them.
So help me, you better pay up on time because...
Oh, yeah.
Or else you want Putin to march through Ukraine.
Yep. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed. Coming up.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
So this just appeared in the Daily Mail. The U.S. government is spending $1 million of American taxpayer money to fund experiments on dangerous bird flu viruses in collaboration with Chinese scientists.
Wait, when did you say this appeared? This is from 10 years ago, 5 years ago?
Just appeared on the 16th. What is this, the 20th?
What is happening? Come on, man.
The research involves infecting ducks and geese with different strains of viruses to make them more infectious and study the virus's potential to jump into mammalian hosts.
Okay.
Why are they continuing to do this? Why? When will they learn? This is not a good idea. You're not helping here. It's being funded through the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and collaborating studies will take place at sites in Georgia, Beijing, and Edinburgh in Scotland. It comes despite similar research being restricted in 2022 and growing concerns that dubious Chinese studies may have started the COVID pandemic. Duh! Specific viruses the researchers will work with include H5N1, H7N9, and H9N2, which is my personal favorite. A 2023 study described H5N1 viruses as highly pathogenic with the ability to cause neurological complications in humans. Oh, all right, well, and we're making them deadlier and more viral. So that's good.
But that's okay, because if they do create something like this, like something similar to COVID, just sit back and wait for the vaccine. That'll come along and enrich those that are pushing it. I mean, fix the virus and get it out of your system and stuff.
Yeah, right. That's what you meant.
Yeah.
Republican Senator Joni Ernst of Iowa wrote a letter Thursday to Tom Vilsack, the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Agriculture, seeking more information about the department's ongoing funding of the research. I was troubled to learn from the nonprofit group White Coat Waste Project that the USDA is supporting experiments involving a highly pathogenic avian influenza virus that poses a risk to both animals and humans.
You need to stop worrying so much.
Yeah, come on. Further, alarmingly, one of the researchers being funded by the USDA grant is Wenju Liu, who was recently listed as being affiliated with the Wuhan Institute of Virology Center for Biosafety. Okay. Mega Science Key Laboratory of Special Pathogens. Okay. Yeah, that went really well last time.
All right, again.
What could go wrong?
Again, I ask, pull back on the xenophobia. I can sense it building.
These experiments with China involve animals infected with highly pathogenic avian influenza, including potential pandemic pathogens that have already caused outbreaks and killed humans. Joni, shut up.
Right.
One of the researchers collaborating on the project is, of course, Wenju Li, or Liu, who is affiliated with the WIV, that's the Wuhan Institute of Virology, and is a member of the board of the scientific journal working with Zhang Shi, who is known as the Bat Lady for her extensive work on bat coronaviruses. Remember, in the beginning of COVID, they were saying that this was spread by bats. That was one of the ways they thought it might have happened.
Sure.
Ernst's letter stated the USDA research will involve infecting ducks and geese with bird flu viruses in gain-of-function experiments to make the disease more transmissible and infectious.
Why?
That's such a great question. Why would you do this?
Why?
Why? What is the point here? Well, because we just want to be prepared. Why don't you let nature run its course?
Yeah. I mean, if the answer is,
my gosh,
we want to make bioweapons to help America defend itself. I don't.
The answer is
trust
no
you
on that.
with
No,
anything.
I don't.
I don't even trust this government to understand the difference between right and wrong. Can we put the map up? Wait till you see where your tax dollars are going throughout China.
Okay.
This is fun. Look at all these places.
Oh, there's a bunch.
These are recent U.S. taxpayer-funded animal experiments in China. Look at that. $1.9 million grant to Peking University. So they got, I got you now. So $500,000 of the $2 million grant, nearly $1 million of a $29 million grant, $216,000, $1 million,
Still funding the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Will we ever learn a single lesson in this country?
Just leave that up for a second, Joe.
Oh, my gosh.
So, okay.
It's incredible.
You pointed out Wuhan. I haven't seen this, but look at this. It says, drilling holes into the skulls of mice, rats, and tree shrews to inject herpes viruses into their brains.
Oh, that's fun.
What the? Okay.
How'd you like to be one of the rats?
Yeah, thank you. Cutting out baby mice brain.
Thank you.
This is just insanity.
Wow.
All of this is insanity.
Yes, it is.
What are we doing?
Yes, indeed.
We are a nation that has lost its way.
Holy
meanwhile, you remember back...
and you would think people would be up in arms over this.
Oh, gosh.
Right?
It's so... I don't know what I'm more frustrated by, the incompetence and the evil that runs our government.
Or the lackadaisical attitude of Americans. We don't care about anything anymore.
You remember early on when the COVID outbreak started and China said, hey, look at University of North Carolina. That's where it came from.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, we got you, China. And then it turned out, there's a lot of connections there with the University of North Carolina and China and the development of these bioweapons. But this is interesting. This was posted yesterday by Robin Minotti on Twitter. And here's what the tweet says. Why was Ralph Barrick, a virologist, in direct and ongoing communication with an FBI special agent about the origin of COVID-19? And this is a letter this is dated February 16th, Pat. This is just last week from the Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic, talking about a special agent that was in direct and ongoing communication with Dr. Barrick. And they're saying, you've been ignoring us for a year on giving us this information to this subcommittee. You've got till March 1st, and then, of course, nothing will happen. Mm-hmm. But they said, then we'll have to begin the compulsory process. Anyway, so... What happened at the University of North Carolina in relation to COVID, and why is the FBI involved? The days of trusting our government with anything are long gone.
Mm-hmm.
Long gone.
That's really sad. It's really sad. You have to be suspicious of everything they do now.
Yep.
And we continue to be proven right on all this stuff. How many times have we said this was released from Wuhan, it happened from China, then we were racist for saying that, then it pretty much was proven, right? Everybody started confirming the fact that, yes, that's exactly what happened. We've been saying all along that there are real, serious serious issues and side effects from the vaccine. Over and over and over, they've told us, no, stop with your conspiracy nonsense. There's nothing wrong. It's safe and effective. Well, the effective thing went away a long time ago. It's not effective. It wasn't 100%. It wasn't 95%. It wasn't 30%. I don't know what the actual number turned out to be, but almost everybody I know, not almost, everybody I know, vaccinated or not, got COVID. So what was the point of the vaccine? What was the point? It didn't protect anybody. It didn't stop the virus at all. Well, it stopped people from getting more sick than they would have and being killed by it. Did it, though? No, that was the mutation of the virus itself. It got less virulent. It got less deadly. It was still very viral, but it was less deadly. That happened on its own because that's what happens usually to the viruses. They get less and less deadly as time goes on.
No, instead, the vaccinated became these laboratories for these different editions of COVID. Mm-hmm. The supercharged variants is what became the. And did I see? Is it 85% of Americans got at least one of the shots? Is that right? Is that? I think that's right.
I don't know.
So
that's a lot.
85% of this country, in the back of their mind, if they're not feeling it overtly, they're stressing out. Mm-hmm. I swear.
Yeah. And they told us, no, it's safe. Okay, so the last domino to fall was that it was safe because effective was blown completely out of the water. Yeah. So it's safe. It's not causing anybody any problems. And if you say it is, you're a conspiracy right-wing MAGA nut. Well, how is that a MAGA thing when Donald Trump is super proud of the vaccine? It's stupid to begin with. To this day. Yep. But last week we talked about the Pfizer scientists admitting the heart disease coming from the vaccine. This week, the biggest study so far ever done on the global safety of the vaccine has just been released. And they, too, are now admitting to severe illness, death, and lingering long symptoms. They say in small increases to those who have gotten that. But, first of all, they said there was none, and now they're admitting to small. Pretty soon they'll say, yeah, it's not as small as we thought. Okay, it's fairly significant. All right, there's a lot of people who are really sick from this stinking vaccine that we told you was safe and effective, and it's neither. But it's causing problems neurologically. It's causing blood problems and heart-related conditions. Duh. Yeah. How many people died suddenly have we seen over the last 3 years? Over and over and over again.
It's dreadful. And you talk about how they're coming out now. The tide may be turning. I mean, it's, I hate it for the people that have it in their bodies at this point, but hopefully the truth does come out and justice will be served. No, it won't. But remember that we had the whistleblower. Was it on Overtime that we played the news clip of the guy in New Zealand, the government guy who's like, he released the data that showed just in stark terms what it was doing to people. It was
significant, too.
It was very significant.
There was a lot of people.
He was just in court. I forgot exactly the ruling, but he won a victory because, remember, they arrested him. They're like, oh, you released a government document. Screw you, man.
That's right.
I've got a chart here that's going to blow your mind, Pat. Can you guys put up the VAERS pie chart, FS5 here? This, okay, so what you're looking at here is these are VAERS reported deaths by vaccine between the years 1988 and 2021. Okay, so you've got over 30 years of data here, and the deaths on VAERS associated with a vaccine, all of the deaths from vaccines, not the COVID one, are on the left.
Okay.
The COVID-related deaths, remember,
on the right.
This is just 1 year that thing was in circulation, accounts for half the deaths.
Oh my!
Among vaccines,
gosh. That's incredible.
That's
right incredible.
There. It's jaw-dropping.
Wow.
That's from VAERS. So
which is owned by the CDC, operated by the CDC. VAERS is their website.
Well, and remember, HHS.
My gosh.
Says that only 1% of vaccine effects, negative effects, are represented on on VAERS.
Yeah.
Only 1%.
Oh, yeah.
But look at that chart. That is just 1 year of data in the blue. And it's half of the deaths than the other 30 years combined.
Incredible.
Of all the other vaccines available out there. My word. It's just tragic beyond belief. And then they've also, the CDC did this thing, this vSafe app. I would encourage, though, to listen to the second hour of Steve Deace's program yesterday, where he goes through it with Tracy Beans. This vSafe app, when they released, the CDC released this app and said, hey, when you get the vaccine, if you're experiencing any kind of problems afterward, please log your symptom here. Oh my gosh. It is so tragic. These people are typing in these just free form what is happening to them, to their blood rate, miscarriages, my baby won't nurse now, my tattoo is itching, my tattoo ink is fading ever since I got a weird spot on my body, all of these things. And the CDC was getting these reports immediately after that damn vaccine was released, and they did nothing. They continue to go out and push it.
Go get it.
They're still telling you today to go buy it.
Yeah.
To go get it injected into you.
Yep.
Evil, man. Evil.
More than 13.5 billion doses of COVID vaccine have been administered globally. You think we're not going to hear a lot more reports of people who are not doing well from it? A lot more. But I love this article because they're trying to make it okay. They're trying to make it like, oh yeah, they've admitted to some teeny little problems here and there, and it's saved over 1 million lives in Europe alone. You don't know that. How do you know that? What are you talking about? Still, a small portion of people immunized were injured by the shots. The new research by the Global Vaccine Data Network was published in the journal Vaccine last week. Now, the data made available via interactive dashboards to show methodology and specific findings. The research looked for 13 medical conditions that the group considered adverse events of special interest among 99 million vaccinated individuals in 8 countries, aiming to identify higher than expected cases after a COVID shot. The use of aggregated data increased the possibility of identifying rare safety signals that might have been missed when looking only at smaller populations. So they, of course, found much higher incidence of myocarditis, inflammation of the heart muscle, which was consistently identified following a first, second, and third dose of mRNA vaccines. The highest increase in the observed to expected ratio was seen after a second jab with the Moderna shot. A first and fourth dose of the same vaccine was also tied to an increase in pericarditis, or inflammation of the thin sac covering the heart. And it goes on and on. I mean, it's just proven positive now.
And yesterday on Overtime, we talked about how, remember when they said it was 100% effective?
Mm-hmm.
And what that was they gave a placebo. Pfizer gave a placebo to 22,000 people. They gave the shot to 22,000 people. And then what was it? Like shortly thereafter, 2 people died that got the placebo. One person died that got the vaccine.
Right.
And
that meant it was 100% effective.
100% effective. And the other thing we talked about yesterday was, look, you can argue one way or the other whether or not they created COVID on purpose or whether it was supposed to be released or whatever. But bottom line is, Dr. Fauci and his ghouls in governments around the world and health organizations, they had the fix. That was remdesivir, right?
Mm-hmm.
That did more harm than good, but there was money to be gained from that. Then when doctors discovered, hey, we could repurpose ivermectin or HCQ, and that really helps. And they were crushed, and they were told, that's horse paste, stop it, you're going to cause more harm than good, and blah, blah, blah. Hang on, we got a vaccine coming. And who profited from the vaccine? I mean, you have to continue to remind yourself of the absurdity of this era. It's unbelievable the amount of evil. These ghouls need to be held accountable. They never will. But yet now we've got the green light that we're going to do this again.
Yeah.
With the study money. Because they weren't held accountable the first time. They're going to keep doing the cycle again and again.
This is also from the CDC. Check this out. There is a staggering 4,070% increase in miscarriages and stillbirths in the United States.
Wow.
Since when? When do you suppose?
Oh, gosh.
2020. Since 2020. A 4,070% increase in miscarriages and stillbirths. That's from the CDC, not from Pat Gray and Keith Malinak.
These people are evil. And they knew it. But that's just it. That's the whole thing about the V-Safe thing from the CDC. They knew the second this damn thing was unveiled.
They sure did.
And yet they continued.
Yeah, they sure did. They sure did. All right. I got to tell you about Fast Growing Trees because it's awesome. Fast Growing Trees is the biggest online nursery in the United States with more than 10,000 different kinds of plants and over 2 million happy customers in the U.S. You can grow lemon, avocado, olive, or fig trees inside your home.
Oh, see,
how cool is that?
I want a fruit tree badly.
Oh, me too. That would be awesome. A lemon tree? Mm-hmm. What I got from them was a tree, a shade tree outside, right in our front area, and man, it makes a huge difference. It just beautifies the home. And you're saving like 90% from landscapers. Like if you have landscapers come in and do this for you, it's going to cost a fortune.
Right.
But you're going to save big with Fast Growing Trees. The experts at Fast Growing Trees create thousands of plants so you can find the perfect fit for your specific climate, location, and needs. That's really important. They're going to walk you through the process because the climate is so much different in Texas than it is in, say, Utah or Montana or Maine. So you want to get the right kind of plant for your specific area. It's awesome. And right now, they have the best deals online, up to half off on select plants. And listeners to this show get an additional 15% off when you use the promo code PAT at checkout. That's an additional 15% off at fastgrowingtrees.com. using the promo code PAT at checkout. FastGrowingTrees.com, promo code PAT, P-A-T. Offer is valid for a limited time, and tell them we sent you.
Pat Gray is unleashed.
Last week, there was the shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade that left a mother of 2 dead and more than 20 injured. Many of those were children. I think like 9 of them were kids. So the governor of Missouri, Governor Mike Parson, referred to the 3 shooters as thugs.
Good.
Well, the mayor of Kansas City, Quentin Lucas, took exception to that. Here's what he had to say about it.
Clip 15?
Do we have clip 15?
How dare that governor guy call them thugs? That's a racist. That's a dog whistle is what that is.
A dog whistle.
Yeah.
Again, do you know that only dogs hear a dog whistle? That's why it's called a dog whistle, because other people can't hear it. So if it's a dog whistle, then it's not a big deal because nobody heard it.
Right.
Nobody heard it.
Okay, watch this. Listen to this.
All right.
He's going to join us later on in this program. After the shooting, he said, we can't let some thugs and criminals just take over and ruin what happened. I gather that's not quite your assessment of what happened that day.
I have respect for the governor. We get along well. I disagree strongly with how he would describe that situation. I certainly do think this was criminal activity. It was lawlessness.
But
I think that that's troubling.
Okay.
But thugs is a dog whistle.
No, it's not a dog whistle.
Most classic sense.
Asinine. I'm so tired of it. I can't take it anymore. Shut up. And that's what he should have been told in that interview.
Oh.
Mayor, shut up.
Yeah, where's Bono when you need him?
Oh, my God.
Shut up.
It's just asinine. Oh, man. Thugs can be used for white people, black people, brown people, people who climb on rocks, tough people, sissy people, even kids with chicken pox can be called thugs if that's how they act.
Right.
Shit, stop it. Just stop it. Can we stop with the garbage spilling out of people's pie holes? And that includes Joy Reid on reparations. She's got to make a race issue out of everything. So here's her nonsense.
Oh, no.
And to find out that literally Barack Obama's 2 terms as president are your reparations, and Juneteenth, which you already celebrated anyway, is your reparations, and yet you built this country.
No.
You literally physically built this country, and yet the attitude toward you from a lot of your peers and your fellow citizens is just shut up.
Yeah.
And be grateful.
Yeah.
You know, the
And
reparations.
it's infuriating.
We're not Barack Obama.
Right.
2 terms. How about 600,000 people dying for the cause in the Civil War?
She wants reparations.
My gosh.
Her parents were both born in another country, not even from the United States.
Unreal. All right. We'll see you on Overtime and back here tomorrow.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.